What's up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Barbecue. What I'll be doing today is going to be some shrimp rolls. So basically a nice shrimp, almost kind of a sub sandwich. This thing is going to be so delicious. I cannot wait until I get it done. Anyway, I'm going to bring you guys in, take a look at what I'm working with, and then we'll get knocking this out. Ingredients, we're going to have some shrimp. I happen to be using some jumbo shrimp, 16, 20 count shrimp. Don't use those if you're making this. You know, I happen to buy this on discount, but any smaller shrimp would work. And what we've done with that is we cook these in the shell. That's important. Cook these in the shell in salted water and for about 7-8 minutes just to get them cooked all the way through. The reason I left the shells on before I cooked them was so that some of that goodness from the shell would kind of seep into that. So we have that. The buns we're going to be using, we just have some basically kind of sub rolls. I'm sure they use something else in New England. I'm not saying that this recipe is authentic. I'm just saying it's going to be good. So that's what we're using. We're going to butter our buns with just a little bit of butter, just regular old butter. The mayonnaise that I'm using, as a matter of fact, let me get to the mayonnaise now. Homemade mayonnaise. If you have not made your own homemade mayonnaise, this is something that you have to do. Have to try it. I'm going to leave a link in the description and the iCard above on this mayonnaise recipe. So really, the first thing we're going to do with this, I have some Old Bay seasoning. If I was making this mayonnaise, or if I knew that everybody was going to be making their own mayonnaise, I would have added this to the mayonnaise when I was making it. So since I'm not assuming people are making their own mayonnaise, we're just going to add this to the mix right now. But like I said, if we were making the mayonnaise, I would go ahead and add this when I'm making the mayonnaise. So here's our mayonnaise. I'm telling you, make your own mayonnaise. Trust me, I don't care if you like Duke's or Hellman's or whatever your mayonnaise is. Tailor this to how you like it. I'm gonna set this aside. Anyway, enough of a rant on mayonnaise. We also have some celery, and we have some green onions. So this is not going to be a traditional, like if you're going to call it authentic roll. This is going to be what I like in this, and I'm telling you, this is going to be delicious. So what we're going to do is add this celery, this green onion. I did save a little bit of the green onion tops for garnish. Now that we have all that done, I'm going to go ahead and bring this shrimp out, and we're going to get this stuff knocked out. First thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to kind of add this a little bit as we go because I don't want to add too much of anything, is we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of our celery. And then same thing with our green onions. And now I'm going to go ahead and add some of this mayonnaise. I'm going to mix this in with my hand. You could use whatever you want. And if you've seen other, lobster roll or shrimp roll videos, they're not adding as much ingredients in this, but I do want to have a little bit of the crunch from the celery and the same thing from our green onions. So you know what? I do want to add a little bit more. So this is untraditional. You will not usually see this. Alright, you know what? That's kind of about what I want. I might have had a touch more mayonnaise in here than I would like, but you know what? Once this sits a while, I think it might kind of come back around, so we will see. Anyway, what I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to put a lid on this, get it in the refrigerator, and let it sit for about 3 hours just to kind of get all them flavors incorporated, and we'll pick it back up. What we're doing as far as these buns go, I thought I was going to go ahead and use butter on it, but I just went ahead and spreaded the mayonnaise on that instead of using butter since I had some left over. Now we're just going to go ahead and brown them off in the skillet until they kind of look like that. Got this bun toasted up. We're going to go ahead and add our little mixture to this. And if I didn't mention it earlier, what we did do was cut those shrimp into thirds, so they're still pretty chunky. Now it's going to be time for us to go ahead and do the taste test on this. I think it's going to be delicious. This is a done deal. Normally I would have done a lobster roll instead of a shrimp roll, but I had all this shrimp left over. But you know what? Let's dig in, see what's up.
That's good.
You know what? I think it's good too. Thanks for stopping by No Hippie Barbecue. I appreciate it. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.